question. So, with respect to making it harder to surrender an animal, I wonder if that needs to be built in somehow into the adoption counseling when people are adopting.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times people will come and say, well, you know, if it doesn't work out, I can always bring it back, right? And so part of me wants to say yes, but like also think carefully if you're thinking, you know, like you don't want to have that mentality like, oh, if I don't like this pair of socks, I can just return it tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing,
And that
right?
was something that we were discussing earlier today. Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
You don't want, oh, he's cute and fluffy now. And we were discussing how many times people come and surrender their animals and say, oh, I can't take care of them. I can't afford them. They're too much energy, too much work. And then on the way out the door, they're like, hey, look at that cute little kitten. Is he up for adoption?
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't do our job there in educating.
Right. Okay. So you thought of that, and then my question was about on this decreasing the length of stay. So I know that Ann and I know the cat volunteers have been thrilled that you have put up for adoption like FIV positive cats, for instance, because that never used to happen. But they tend to be among the cats that will stay the longest, and we try to educate people about it and things like that. But, you know, understandably, many people are reluctant to take on a cat that could even have high vet expenses, put aside the issue of, like, contagion. We try to reassure them on that front.
Right.
You know, we try to do what we can to get certainly older ones adopted. The kittens tend to go quicker. But it's especially, I can't speak about the dogs because I spend most of my time with the cats, but it's decreasing this length of stay to like when you say 10 days, it's like, whew. I just, you know,
It's a goal. It's a goal
no,
for
it's a
sure.
goal, and I just need to find the part of Guilford County out there that doesn't have a cat yet, and I need a new circle of acquaintances, I guess. But
Yeah, that happens. You kind of overrun your friends. And, no, don't want any more.
yeah, and my guess is that there's a quicker turnover with dogs, although I could be mistaken there.
It's yes and no. Cats have a tendency to stay a little bit longer, but we'll have like a kind of a cat frenzy where cats just get adopted and all of them are gone. But we do have a very high length of stay for dogs as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of even.
Hold on 1 second, right
Now, do rescues have to have an appointment to come into intake as well? Like to see some of the animals? Is that
Yes.
something you have started?
Yes.
A really quick question. You may not know. Is there a reason why we don't charge for euthanasias?
So we do ask for $10 donation, but as far as why we don't actually charge, I don't know the answer to that. You? And this is something else we were discussing when making this. We've had veterinarians come and bring their animals to us to surrender for euthanasia because it was too expensive for them at their clinics to euthanize. That's kind of sad. I mean, that's part of this community outreach. Isn't just the adopters and people surrendering animals. It's the whole community. How can we best assist people? Are there funds that they can apply for that don't already exist, or do they exist and we just need to show people where those are at? But that was just kind of a hard-hitting statement when the vet brought her animal because she couldn't afford to do it at her clinic.
Marty, that's something that we can discuss on the board level because we, not just with animal services, but in health department or social services or what have you, there's a list of services that we do require payment from those who can, and certainly there's from those who cannot, we want to be able to provide the service as well. We understand that too, but we have some experience in some other arenas with that type of fee structure, and that maybe something our board needs to look at.
Either that or like a voucher program of some sort. Because not paying for euthanasia is like you were saying, to be a dumpster for that's ridiculous amount.
And very, very hard on the staff.
Yeah.
I have two quick questions. First, so you have to have an appointment to surrender. If someone comes in and they don't have an appointment, are they still there?
No, it would be the same sort of situations if they called and say, we recommend appointments. We can probably squeeze you in now. The main thing is getting the information and providing the information to the individual without having to feel rushed and, you know, chaotic. I would imagine that if there's already, you know, a few people waiting, that we would highly recommend that they do make an appointment, or, you know, we would at very least at that point in time provide them with other resources to try to explore until they could come back. But no, we're not gonna say, nope, sorry, good luck with you.
We have several people that will come into intake and say, oh, I didn't realize I needed an appointment. We'll provide them with that information. They're like, oh, great, perfect. Well, let's go ahead and make an appointment for next week and I'll see what I can do and then I'll call you.
And then they
never
cancel.
come back.
But then what about the people that you know are not gonna do that?
So the people who are absolutely like, no, take my animal, I don't wanna do this, we take their animal immediately. We don't turn them away because if they're already at that mindset where they're just can't do anything about it, then we won't turn the animal away.
Okay.
And it is interesting also, I'm sorry, to note as far as the fees schedules and stuff, there are people come in and say, how much does it cost to surrender my animal? So that is not an unheard of thing, you know, we are providing a service, so just something to consider. Again, we wouldn't wanna ever limit someone's ability to surrender if they needed to, but just something to consider.
And my next question, is there a database anywhere of people who chronically surrender their animals?
We have our database, so I'm sure the animal
It's
control
being built.
officers can speak on that a bit
a work
more,
in
and probably
progress.
can recognize them by name or address
Yeah.
at the very least.
You know,
It tends to also be, a lot of times with, feral cats, they'll trap cats on their property and they call animal control and say, come get these cats. And, I mean, some people will have, you know, 20, 30, ultimately, over the course of a period of time, animals that they're trapping and having animal control come and dispose of them for them.
Thank you. So, okay, I'm gonna take, always got one more question, and what I'd like to do is move on. You know, we have several other agenda items. But I would say anyone else that has a question, maybe, reserve that question for the end during comments, and then ask Dr. McHenry at that point.
So just one quick question, the animals that are there for like the 86 days or a huge amount of time, is there a point where, like after 50 days, rescues are contacted? It just seems to me that maybe rescues would be interested in animals that are there for a long time.
Well, yeah, and that was one of those points about some of the changes that have been made. Our rescue coordinator is sending out length of stay reports now, so that is available to our transfer partners.
Thank you very much, Dr. Again, if you have any further questions about this report, please hold those, and at the end during comments, feel free to ask them. Mr. Long is going to give us a